PewDiePie made another video, but this time on Scotch. Would be great to see your opinions on what he drank.
Huh.
Alert! Pewds just dropped another whiskey review. PewDiePie did another whiskey video. You should do a video about it. PewDiePie just made another Scotch video. I'll be here waiting for your response.
Yeah, I'll be here waiting.
Hey, PewDiePie just made a new whiskey video. You gotta make a video about it like last time.
Okay.
PewDiePie made a new video about Scotch and it's very nice. Would be cool to see your opinions from this whiskey.
5 very nices.
And then let's scroll down, 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 down. MT32. Please make another PewDieBait video about it. I love you guys. MT32, you had me at bait.
Am I starting this one or are you starting it with a rant?
I'm not ranting at all. If anybody wanted to rant in this video,
it was me.
It's Daniel. Because, you know, the question came up. The last PewDiePie video we did was a month ago. It was fun.
Yes.
Now, as the sommelier, you had mixed feelings about doing another PewDiePie video.
Yeah,
so
still do.
So fresh off the heels.
Yeah.
As a whiskey mooch,
not so much.
Who's charged with growing the channel.
Yes, true.
I'm gonna mooch some subscribers.
That's right. And some whiskey. Lots of whiskey. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take the whiskeys that he did, and then we're going to give you, if you like that, you should try this.
Yes, alternatives.
And all of these will be very fast.
Yep.
So I'm not going to start like he did with Lafroig, because holy cow. So we're going to start a little bit lighter. We're going to start with Tomatin 12. I was going to say, if you like Tomatin 12, another one you should try, Tomental. And I got the Tomental 12 because it's also a sherry cask finish.
Okay.
And this is a bourbon and sherry cask finish.
So the Pewds whiskey.
So his whiskey is going to be on my glass. And our recommendation, and I'm going to pour enough to really understand that one. Yeah. Our recommendation will be in Rex's glass. And this thing's totally getting a little sketchy. Now remember, this is a Speyside Scotch.
Yeah.
Now Speyside is to Highlands what Texas is to the United States. So if you're in the Speyside region, you can either call your whiskey Speyside or Highland whiskey. All Speysides are Highlands, but not all Highlands are Speysides.
Sure, it's like thumbs and fingers. Smart. Okay, that is very... That's apple juice, man.
Yeah, it's friendly, it's pretty, there's no real spiky notes. It's a little bit earthy, but mostly caramel. The end has this sort of vanilla cream finish.
Ooh, that is light and fruity and delicious. It's like a dessert.
Do you need a water?
We got a lot of whiskeys to go through. If we were doing this correctly, we'd be adding some ice and then some drops of water and some
time,
ice.
And you would try it 2 or 3 different times, and you'd sit with it. We don't have the time. I've drank all these before, so I'm partially going from memory.
And drunk. Now this is...
Oh, this is much more butterscotchy.
Okay.
And this is an Oloroso sherry finish.
How is this half empty and I've never even heard of it?
Oh, because it's that good and I've been hoarding it.
You have been. You've been hiding this from me. I'm just going to have to take this to my office.
Oh, okay. So very different, and this is much more raisin, much more fig, dark fruit notes. This is closer to like a Macallan almost.
Lighter, brighter fruits, and if you want to get a little darker, a little bit more character in there. Still very sweet and friendly though.
Yeah, still in the same category.
Yeah.
All right, now we're gonna go Strathisla 12.
Okay.
Which, actually, I was really excited to see that one.
Sure. Now, while you're getting the Strathisla, I think it's worth mentioning, different from Japanese whiskey, which is, they have a lot of entry-level, beginner-friendly types of whiskeys in there. Scotch is the kind of whiskey where there's a few things in there that'll immediately turn people off if you're not into it. What we've had so far, the light and the fruity notes and the sweetness, that's pretty beginner-friendly.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to some, though, that if you're not really deeply into whiskey yet, you need to check out the beginner whiskey video, that all the recommendations were crowdsourced from people in the whiskey tribe. It's up here. That'll give you a really good list of recommendations if you're just now starting down the whiskey path.
So Strathisla 12 is actually a lot harder to get here in Texas. I had to order this all from Master of Malt.
Right.
And I really love, this is Strathisla.
Yep.
What I get in this is all kind of grass notes, but honey. And a little bit of vanilla bean.
I'm gonna sip that quickly so I can immediately get to the Glenfarclas, which is
Because you know you love it.
It's one of my favorites.
Now there are some peppery notes on the Strathisla. There's some pepper notes on the back end, and if you're not ready for that, it can kind of finish with a little bit of a zing.
It's like vanilla very quickly turns into black pepper. It's interesting.
And I really love that.
That is nice.
So Glenfarclas is a classic. And honestly, for the money, you'll be hard-pressed to find better Highland Speyside whiskey for an age statement versus money. So like you get a 40-year-old Dalmore or something like that, it could be $5,000, $3,000, $2,000.
Yeah.
You get a 40-year-old Glenfarclas, it could be $1,000.
Only $1,000.
Only $1,000. I'm just saying, for the price point and the age, Glenfarclas is extremely affordable,
Right.
and it's just a wonderful whiskey. And if you fly United, you can get it on United now.
By the way, at lunch today, we got a note from my mom. She's like, hey, your grandmother's turning 80. Can you find an 80-year-old whiskey that we can open? Can't.
Like, we would love to.
Yeah.
If you have $500,000.
Have to sell my house and my cars.
Yeah. Okay, so this one is way more complex. So if the black pepper note in Strathisla really caught your imagination, then Glenfarclas 12 takes it 3 steps further without overwhelming you.
Totally. And again, these aren't smoky campfire challenging hardcore whiskeys.
And extremely fast comparisons. He did Abelor Abanar. Now, I find that interesting because...
Speaking of, we have a video for the Abelur. I like it.
Abanar.
It's one of my favorite videos. It's up here.
Uh-huh.
It's a good video.
Uh-huh.
The Glendronach. Really, I remember this being
great.
much more light and friendly than the Abelor.
Keep in mind the Abelor is cask strength. And so this one is batch 56 and it's 61.2% alcohol.
No,
That's a holy crap. This one is only 43.
this is getting spanked.
This is 20% more alcohol.
How
You water it down is what you do.
Okay. So
Now we'll try it without watering it down and then we'll add a little water. Now I like this one because Abelor is sort of famous as a heavily sherried whiskey. A big sherry influence. And they looks it, right? So is Glendronach. So is Macallan. So is a couple of others. And I stayed away from Macallan and because I actually prefer Glendronach because it's a little more complex for me.
Yeah. Is it as intense as I remember?
Yep. There's a lot more peat and barrel in that one. Woo! That one, let's just say, is not trying to be your friend necessarily.
I'm getting a little bit of a spanking.
All right, we added a pretty good chunk of water to that. I'm guessing we probably brought it down to about 45.
It's still...
Oh, man, it jumped out of the glass all of a sudden. It just sort of exploded. Oh, that's wonderful. Now it's all plums.
I want to see if the watered down version gets close to comparing to the Glendronach.
Oh, it kind of got boring, though. No, stick with the cask strength. All right, so this one on the nose is just magic. And if you ever wanted to watch it, we used this whiskey as a base for a blend we created to fake the Macallan M.
By the way, of the ones that we've tried so far, is there like a ballpark price we're looking at, or are they all over the place?
All over the place.
Okay.
This is all pretty and friendly and fall, but none of the bite or spice.
Yeah, so if you need something much more tame...
But still as rich.
Rich, yeah.
Right? This is like fudge versus a chocolate bar.
This is like fudge versus fudge that's trying to you up the...
Is that sort of the other way around? Okay. I have an experiment. Now, here's the problem with him choosing 3-wood. It's interesting because there's nothing to compare to Akatosh 3-wood in the Lowlands. There's only a handful of functioning single malt distilleries in the Lowlands.
Right.
And Akatoshan's one of them. And 3-wood is a magical whiskey. It smells like pipe tobacco. And it's got a little bit of spice and oak in it.
Right.
Not overwhelming.
Right.
Now, I picked Glenkinchie 12 simply because it's another classic Lowland. It tastes nothing like Akatosh 3-wood.
Well, then what the hell? The entire premise for the video...
No. There is nothing in the Lowlands
really
that tastes like Akatosh 3-wood. Nothing.
Okay.
It stands totally on its own in that category, so there's nothing to compare it to other than, well, why don't you try some other Lowland whiskeys?
I will forgive you this one time.
Now, because I had to do that, I'm going to introduce you to a third Lowland whiskey that also tastes nothing like Akatosh, but is wildly good. But see what I mean by pipe tobacco?
Yeah.
Leather chairs?
Totally.
This is Grandpa's study. It reminds me of the direction of Dalmore without the waxy pecan or waxy walnut notes.
Oh, okay. What about plum? Because I get a lot of plum from Dalmore.
And you're always going to get that in anything that has been finished in sherry. And the 3-wood in this one is Pedro Jimenez, Oloroso sherry, and bourbon cask.
So if you really...
That's so good.
If you really like the oakiness, the wood notes, it's really barrel heavy.
With the dark cherry. So this is like from Glendronach if you added a whole bunch of barrel notes.
I'm getting it's only like 15 to 20% of this in that. If you sucked
Yeah.
out all of the intense barrel notes and like the light, friendly notes.
Now this is all light and sparkly and honeydew.
These are the light, friendly notes that you're
almost melon.
that you're left with if you take out the triple wood, whatever that is. The
Yeah, this
3
is
wood.
melon. This is like honeydew melon.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to surprise you guys with another Lowland.
So at this point, I'm going to give a very expert opinion.
Oh, that was uncool. Okay, this is Ailsa Bay. And it's a relatively new Lowland distillery.
Yeah.
And my God, is it wonderful.
Again,
It will remind you,
I'm suspicious by how much of this is gone.
I know, it will remind you
And I
of
wasn't
an
here.
Island or an Islay whiskey.
And this isn't Islay? No. Islay,
This could be cool Islay or Ardbeg or Lafroig.
Islay is I-S-L-A-Y.
Mm-hmm, Islay.
You're going to be tempted to call it Isle. It's Islay.
Or Islay.
Yeah.
Hells yes.
Dude, that's got to be an Islay.
Mm-mm.
Screw you. It's
That's
an Islay.
Lowland, a brand new Lowland distillery.
Then they're trying real hard to be Islay.
Yeah, go try to find this.
It is the Lowlands version of an Islay.
You're gonna love it.
All right, thank you. This is mine. Islay, though, these are the whiskeys that people say it tastes like a campfire. It's smoky, tastes like, people say kerosene if that's the only front-leading flavor. They haven't acclimated to the alcohol.
So now we are into, Oban is just, it's in Diageo's classic malt series. And my God, is it a classic whiskey.
Okay.
I mean, it's just a gold standard of island whiskey, and it's got all of the sort of mossy notes
Sure.
of an island whiskey, a little bit of salt water, a bit of brine, a bit of the earth, but it's also got the kind of honeyed notes and even a little bit of citrus in there.
So what you're describing with the words coming out of your face hole, it sounds like a cross between like a Highland or a Speyside and an Islay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
You wouldn't be that wrong by describing it that way.
Okay. Closer to the Highland and the Speyside sweetness.
Right?
You're not getting a strong, challenging, what do you like, brine and... So a little bit of peat.
Now we're following it with Talisker, which is on Isle of Skye.
Yeah, that's really nice.
I would also put in a
Dude.
similar category.
Dude, Oban. Damn. The more I sip this.
Oban is just a go-to gold standard.
Yeah.
Now, this one is Oban. It's similar to Oban, but it's a little more candied. Talisker 10, Isle of Skye. Now this one is a little more simple. It's not. It doesn't keep changing as constantly as Oban does, but it's still really good.
Apple, caramel, black pepper on the ends. Okay.
Yep. Our grand finale, we will do the Lafroig 10 followed by Ardbeg 10. And what you will learn is that there's two totally different kinds of smoke, or several totally different kinds of smoke notes in Islay. And just because it's smoky whiskey doesn't necessarily mean it tastes like all smoky whiskey.
Whenever we talk about beginner whiskeys, like 8 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10 people need something that's a little sweet and lighter.
This is not that.
No, it's not.
Now, every once in a while, the 1 to 2 out of 10 will meet somebody who tries this for the first time of all whiskeys, and they fall in love.
Yeah.
And that you are a rare breed, my friend.
Those are people that like, you know, black coffee.
Yeah.
Spicy foods, really hard flavors.
You're still sipping on that Ailsa Bay, aren't
I
you?
am. Yeah, I can't. Dude, that bottle may not be around tomorrow. Just saying. Lafroig, I had this in my house last week. Now I don't. Something happened.
And this is why we love the Scotch videos. All right, and we're moving to Ardbeg 10. If you want to try another super smoky whiskey, this will be your friend. But totally different kind of smoke. Aha! Ardbeg 10 is not even trying to be sweet.
Have you scotched before?
Right?
Yeah.
Woo!
Little tickle. Little tickle. Would you also compare like Lagavulin 16?
Yeah, no.
No?
No. Lagavulin 16 is way more subtle and nuanced.
Right.
Compared to the 10s of this family.
You don't think it can hold its own with the amount of peat it has in there?
No, it could hold its own, but there's a lot more going on than just that.
Okay.
It's way more nuanced.
None of these whiskeys were going for bang for your buck. But
No, we spent money today. Yeah.
And I think somebody mentioned that PewDiePie has actually seen the video we did on Japanese whiskey, which was cool.
Oh, yeah.
Said
Did
very
he?
nice things.
He said nice things.
Yes,
huh?
he did. He said nice things.
Okay.
He said you got the crazy beard. And the next thing he's probably going to do is Irish whiskey. Anybody that's interested in Irish, we have 2 recommendations. I bet you know what they are.
Green Spot.
And Red Rest 12.
There you go. All right. What do we use to toast?
These are mine.
All of them?
Right.
Holy
Here,
crap.
you have some drops in here.
Wait, I'm gonna mix Lafroig and Ardbeg together. Woo! All right, here's to fighting, stealing, and drinking.
If you fight, may you fight for a friend.
If you steal, may you steal a lover's heart.
And if you drink,
may you drink with us.
Hey, thanks for hanging out with us in the Whiskey Vault. Don't forget to throw in a like, hit that subscribe button on the bottom right, and drop a question or comment down below.